Hello BookTube, this is Juan from Just One Reader here today with a very casual Friday Reads video. I feel very proud to have finally finished a book. It's been a rough couple of months lately, and it's been at least 2 months, maybe a month and a half, 2 months since I last completed a book, and so I just feel a sense of accomplishment. But it's also a sense of being finally able to come back to BookTube and to settle back down into my reading life and my reading routine. So even though the books that I will talk about in this video are not the best books that I've read in a while, at least I finally have come back to this reading kind of frenzy, this feeling of really being motivated to read more. So the book that I am so satisfied to have finally completed is Sarah Waters's The Paying Guests. I just love the physical object of this book. It's just such a beautifully constructed paperback. It's a UK edition, and I just love the way that this book feels. The quality of the paper is really high and great, and yeah, just reading this book as a sensory experience was really great. It just feels large and long and hefty. It is a hefty, chunky book. So what is this book about? It is a very essentially Sarah Waters-y kind of novel. It is your quintessential Sarah Waters novel in terms of the themes. There's some lesbian romance. It's a historical fiction novel set in the year 1922, so right in between the wars, that kind of period. It's set in London. All of these things are just great. It feels like ticking the boxes. My problem with this book essentially is I think it is so overwritten. I think this book just suffers from being overwritten. It feels incredibly bloated in some sections. I also feel like this book was underwritten in some other areas, which is it was a very weird experience, a very weird feeling to have with this book. Like, it was overwritten and underwritten at the same time. So what I mean when I say overwritten, there were some sections, especially towards the ending of the book, there's a legal, courtroom drama kind of bit that goes on for way too long, and it feels exhausting and exasperating. There are also some chunks of the book, very interior monologue driven sections of the book that felt very overblown and just yeah, I get it. Can you please get to the point? And then it was underwritten in terms of the characters, especially the two main female characters. I just didn't really feel they were defined enough. Weirdly, because this hadn't really happened to me with a Sarah Waters historical novel before. But yeah, I just felt like this book was underwritten and overwritten at the same time. There are some sections in here that I adored and that really showcase the strengths of Sarah Waters' writing. For example, there are some really atmospheric scenes and passages in this novel that I found beautifully written and really tense, especially the big climactic event of the first section of the book, which is the exciting incident. I really loved that, and it was so tense and so suspenseful and so expertly crafted, which is it's a pity. It really feels like a lost opportunity. This novel could have been so great, but in the end, I can only give it a 3-star rating at best, because even though it has a great core, it has great material at its core, I just feel like this novel was not properly written, and not properly edited, which is a pity. So yeah, I would not recommend this book. I would recommend reading Sarah Waters, but not this book. But yeah, this book was also very long, and it certainly feels drawn out. But finally, when I finally made it all the way through, I had this sense of accomplishment that I really cherished, because now I feel like I can read whatever I want. It feels like I'm finally like shedding my skin, or like, I don't know, freeing myself from these shackles of a reading slump that went on for way too long. And so I just wanted to read something fun, and I went for Percy Jackson and the Olympians, which is Rick Riordan's original series. This is book 4. I had previously enjoyed, I think, all of the installments, but it sort of feels like diminishing returns a bit, because my favorite ones, I think, have been books 1 and 2. Book 3, I did not really care for. And look, book 4 was not good. I did not enjoy this book. It felt like just very empty. I didn't really care about what happened in this book. I was very bored, even though there's a lot of action, like a ridiculous amount of action. And maybe if I were 12 or 13 years old, I would have gobbled this up. But you know what? I am not. And so I was just very bored, just reading action sequence after action sequence without really having like a driving force that kept me going. And you know, it's impossible for me personally. I am a big Potterhead. It's impossible for me not to compare these kinds of reads to Harry Potter, because in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, I think Harry Potter does it best. From what I have read, I think Harry Potter, even though there are like action sequences and the same kind of thing, but there is something about the Harry Potter novels. There's like a driving mystery, or like a driving arc, and you're always engaged. And here with Percy Jackson, I feel like I just lost, like my train lost its steam, or like its coal or something. Like I could not care about this book. It just felt way too exciting without any real substance in there. No, 2 stars. It's a pity, because I think Rick Riordan is a great writer. He is a great writer, and I love his authorial voice. But really, I don't even see myself reading the 5th and final installment in the series. That's how I feel. But now, what am I currently reading? I started reading Moonflower Murders by Anthony Horowitz. This is the sequel to my favorite book, or one of my favorite books of the year so far, Magpie Murders. If you have not read Magpie Murders, stop this video right now. I'm looking at you, and read Magpie Murders. You will thank me later. So now it's the turn for Moonflower Murders. I am very excited. I just started this this week. And then I will also read this chunkster, good old Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, but this is the Jim Kay illustrated edition, which I have not read. I will be reading this because it's going to be Harry Potter week, which is the last week of July. I always have this kind of weird Harry Potter craze at the end of July. I celebrate Harry's birthday, J.K. Rowling's birthday. It's like a national event here at my house. It's like the only religion I know, Harry Potter. So I will be reading this and just basking in the beautiful illustrations, and I just love reading these illustrations because I get to see a different kind of aesthetic to the world of Harry Potter, different to the one we all have in our brains now, that is defined by the movies and the Warner Brothers movies and all of that. I really love having another aesthetic, another look, another perspective to the same world, which is also why I am actually excited about the Harry Potter series, the HBO Max series, because I really feel like the Warner Brothers Harry Potter movies were not very good. I've always thought that they're just very lackluster, very lacking. The only really good ones, in my opinion, are the first one and the third one, which is just aesthetically a beautiful, constructed, a beautiful movie overall. But the rest of the movies, well, the second movie I also really like, but the movies 4 to 8, I just don't like. They are not Harry Potter for me. Harry Potter is the books. So I really want well, that's my hope. I hope that the Harry Potter HBO series does it well. And I really hope it's closer to the books than the movies, because the movies to me are not great. Anyway, my name is Juan. I am just one reader. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment down below if you want us to discuss some of these books or recommend some books, whatever. I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.